My name is Linda, and what I'm about to share with you today should arouse anger, disgust, irritation, and a motivation to fight for change. We, the American consumers, are taken advantage of by financial institutions, mortgage lenders, and the court system, all based on what we do not know. Let me begin by explaining how the bank stole my home, and I do mean stole, and maybe yours was stolen also, and how the courts have enabled this type of practice to continue, not because it's right, but because judges don't want to open Pandora's box and expose the financial institutions' practices. Well, I'm here to open Pandora's box, to expose all the dirty laundry the financial institutions and mortgage brokers don't want you to know. My focus will be on exposing the illegal practices of the banks and identifying them as the thieves they are. When my home went into default, the realtors like sharks at a feeding frenzy, and the Barracuda mortgage brokers flooded our mailbox with all kinds of "we can help you" propaganda. Once the notice of trustee sale came out, the bank's realtors started knocking at the door and posting notices saying that we had to get out because the bank has taken over the property. Did you know that possession is 9/10 of the law? This is the point where most homeowners make and have made the mistake of moving out. But remember, there has been no sale, and if the bank can scare you into moving, then what you've technically done is abandon your home, exactly what the bank wants you to do. Why? So they can slither right in, sell the property to a new buyer, ding your credit with a foreclosure, and the bank is happy because you made their takeover and their possession much easier. In my case, I refused to buckle under to their fear and threat tactics by remaining in the home until there was a court order. I notified the realtor that unless they wanted to be a party to pending litigation, they might want to cease and desist with the intrusions and the paper postings. Well, guess what? They did for a season. The next thing the bank did was issue a notice of trustee sale, indicating their intention to auction the property on a particular day at a certain time. Again, many people will give up and leave for sure at this point. And I have to ask the question, why? If they want you out, they too have to follow legal processes and procedures. Remember, until there's a court order called a writ of possession, you don't have to give up possession. The realtors returned, and I reminded them again of upcoming litigation and asked if they want to be a part. Of course they don't. So they resolved to post notices on my door that I simply removed. Several months later, I received an unlawful detainer summons. Now we're getting somewhere. I went to the county records office and got a printout of the trustee's deed upon sale. I took all my papers and the notices that were posted on my door to a meeting with an attorney. As we were going through the various documents, lo and behold, we discovered the players are not the same. In other words, the folks who initiated the foreclosure were not on the deed, and they were not assigned on the deed until many days after the sale. To make it perfectly clear, that means the foreclosure was performed illegally. I was forced out of my home on an illegal foreclosure and have spent all my savings fighting in the courts to make someone aware of this injustice. This process is equivalent to: you bought a car using Bank ABC, making them the legal owner and you the registered owner. You missed a few payments or you didn't pay, and then Bank QRS orders a repossession of your vehicle, let's say on October 10th. So on October 17th, Bank QRS files documents to show them as the legal owner. Well, what just happened is that bank QRS literally stole your vehicle on October 10th because they had no legal right to repossess your vehicle. This is exactly what happened to my home. And maybe many of you who are viewing this video, because you didn't know what to look for or where to look, yours was probably stolen too. Now, this should make you really, really angry. While I was standing in the hall outside the unlawful detainer courtroom, why did I hear the bank's attorney say, no one has ever addressed this before. They do this all the time. That has got to make you a little heated. To add insult to injury, the bank hurried and sold my home to a new buyer, knowing we are still litigating. Remember what I said about possession being 9/10 of the law? People, this is blatant thievery. It must stop. How long are we, the consumers, going to allow the financial institutions to do whatever they want at our expense and to the devastation of our families? The majority of foreclosures were not greedy people, but greedy banks. Most people just give up and leave without knowing there are statutes and regulations designed to protect the consumer. But if we don't know, the financial institutions are certainly not going to tell us. Let me address the courts briefly. They're known to set aside or sidestep what is right, to clear their calendars, to not open Pandora's box, and definitely not to go against their counterparts. They'll take a middle-of-the-road approach to anyone who dares come against the system. They overlook or ignore the surrounding details and hang their hats on procedure. Did the bank follow the appropriate foreclosure procedure? Not was it legal or not, but did they follow the recipe to foreclose? Oh well, it appears the recipe was followed, so I have to grant the foreclosure. Some of the reasons there has not been a precedent set to allow or to support consumers is because most people just walk away, or they feel intimidated by the banks and the courts. Some face severe financial hardships. Some just can't afford to fight, and some just don't know. My case now sits with the bank, knowing they're wrong, pulling every legal trick to deplete the last of my funds so they can win by default and stop the possibility of their practices becoming public knowledge. The last thing the financial institutions want is for this type of information and their thieving attempts to be exposed, and other people finding out what I found and seek restitution. Well, I intend to get this message to everyone I can. So I'm asking you for your support in two areas. Number one, email, text, call everyone you know. I don't care where they are, in the country or out of the country. Ask them to check out this video. Join the fight. Send $1 to help me fight. The proceeds will go towards the attorney's fees and the court fees and other expenses surrounding this case. So to send your contribution, please send it to www.fight4home.info. If you want more information about this and other upcoming statistics on what's happening with this process, please go to the website again at www.fight4home.info. Thank you for viewing, thank you for your support, and thank you for spreading the word.